the last face-off with Klopp, who through his resignation, scored a lot of points and talked about this and that from an Arsenal fan's point of view, but personally, the most interesting thing was that both teams came out with unexpected tactics. The most notable part of Arsenal's tactics is that they did not have a defensive midfielder in the build-up, and the left full-back took a 3-2 formation that came into the centre. Arsenal kept the left full-back on the side and increased the number of defensive midfielders instead of Mezzola by using Jorginho. Arsenal created an asymmetric formation on the left with the left full-back on the side, with the existing rear 3-2 formation. Another point is that Havertz, who played as a one-top player, left his seat and even played the role of left Mezzola. When Havertz played as a left Mezzola instead of a one-top, Arsenal's left-handed attacking structure was that Havertz, who mainly advanced, was located in the half between the opposing defensive lines, tied the opposing right full-back and the right centre-back, and the left wing came down cross-sectionally. But rather than staying on the opposing defensive line, Havertz was characterized by coming down deeper on the half and participating in the rear build-up. Because of these two characteristics, Arsenal were involved in the rear build-up with all but both wings based on the left that created an asymmetric numerical advantage formation. Through this structure, Arsenal basically forced Liverpool, which is based on strong pressure, to mobilize many players in front, and they cooked the space using Freeman, which occurs in the process. Arsenal holding the ball from the left behind. The opposition's right-hand Mezzola, who was blocking Jorginho, goes under pressure and connects to Havertz through a free Jorginho. The right wing, which was blocking Zinchenko, moves the markman to Havertz, making Zinchenko a free man. Liverpool, which has already exhausted many numbers in front, eventually kept Zinchenko in check as the defensive line's right full-back left off, and Martinelli was free. To prevent this, the right centre-back in the centre goes out to the side, and a gap is created in the centre of the opponent's defence line. Through this gap, Havertz penetrates and at the same time the ball is connected to Odegaard on the other side. Liverpool's miss occurred in the process of continuing to change the opponent's markman. Defensive midfielder Alistair stopped after following Havertz. Alistair had to follow Havertz and fill the gap in the defensive line as the left centre-back emptied the defensive line to stop Odegaard. Or Alistair blocked Odegaard and the left centre-back kept his position. In the end, Havertz freely dug into the back space, and Arsenal scored the first goal. It's a similar situation. Liverpool's right wing and right midfielder, who can block the left full-back Kiwior due to his position, are both consumed to press. The ball is connected to Kiwior, who is free like that. With no player to stop Kiwior, Liverpool has a right full-back of the defensive line protruding, and Martinelli is free in a chain. The right centre-back then comes out to block Martinelli, and Havertz penetrates into the back space between the open defensive lines. The difference between this scene and the first goal is that Alistair followed Havertz this time, but still, Arsenal has an advantage. Because it is possible to shoot directly and is numerically equal in the centre in front of the goal, Saka's doorway allows him to use free Odegaard by pushing out two defenders, and if one defender falls out to block Odegaard, that's how much space Saka can use. In this way, Arsenal were able to have gain with a symmetric build-up formation on the left. What's interesting is that Liverpool's attacking structure was also asymmetric. No, but Liverpool's expected score is less than 0.4, so what are you analysing? Of course, the result of the expected score was poor. But if you judge the rationality of Liverpool's tactics, it's a different. This is because Liverpool dug very well into the loopholes of Arsenal's defence. Key point is the use of right fullback Arnold. This season, Liverpool often played the role of distributing Arnold's ball from the back when attacking. However, the key point of this game was that Arnold's opposite left fullback was placed in the middle line and the right wing on the side was placed in the half space between the defensive lines, moving Arnold high forward and using him like a wing forward. It was the same as Arsenal in that they tried to use one side from the right to an asymmetric structure through this arrangement. The difference was that unlike Arsenal, which had a lot of numbers at the back and was short through the left, Liverpool had a lot of numbers at the front and hit it long to the right. In this arrangement, when Liverpool sent the ball to Arnold on the side, If the left fullback goes out to block the side, Arsenal will be vulnerable to the left half-space defense. Of course, it is possible to use Martinelli and left midfielder Jorginho, who will face Arnold in position due to the structure, but they can't do so because of the tactical duties of the two players. First of all, Jorginho's case has to do with Arsenal's pressure tactics. Arsenal usually have a 4-4-2 formation with the right-hand Meslier Odegaard in front when pressing. The point to note here is the additional pressure on Liverpool's midline, which is located two behind the front line. When Arsenal put this extra pressure, they basically moved the left midfielder forward. It was physically difficult for Jorginho to block the half between the defensive lines while putting pressure on the middle line. So what about left wing Martinelli? Martinelli also had to cover the left-hand space when Jorginho pressed forward, and he played a role in quickly joining the attack during a counter-attack by selecting a position that stayed ahead of the rear line, so support for the defensive line was neglected. Liverpool had properly penetrated the loophole on Arsenal's left side through an asymmetric right-hand arrangement that advanced Arnold high. Liverpool succeeded in deploying to the left fullback Gomez, located in the middle line. Here Jorginho doesn't back down, he stays in place to stop Gomez. According to Liverpool's offensive arrangement, the right wing came inside and lured the left fullback Zinchenko, and Arnold, who advanced high, took the side. Here, a pass goes to Arnold. Zinchenko, who was narrowed down to prevent this, comes out to the side, and the left half space is wide open. Liverpool's midfielder is penetrating to take advantage of this. Jorginho, who stayed in midfield to stop Gomez, can't keep up, and Martinelli is also positioning himself for the counterattack according to his duties. Fortunately, Zinchenko blocked the cross with his body, but if he had connected, it would have been on the verge of losing a point. Similarly, it's a scene where Liverpool passes to Arnold on the side. Liverpool have a lot of forwards in front of them, but Arsenal are not prepared for it. Jorginho is staying in the middle line, and Martinelli is not down either. Zinchenko is also pulled to the side to stop Arnold, and he is a right-wing Gakpo who targets half space. Of course, Gabriel came out to defend, so it is difficult for Liverpool to target the half without interference. However, Gabriel, who was in the center of the defense line, is away. Saliba has become the only one in the center to deal with the two strikers. The midfielders who will come to cover this are also far away, so if Gakpo puts the ball in the center, it will be in a very dangerous situation. In the second half, Arsenal took the lead with a lucky goal, becoming more defensive in order to keep the lead. They faced more of a low defensive shaft, which was when they lowered the left wing to the defensive line, leaving Liverpool no longer able to build an advantage on the right. Like this, we analysed the similar but different offensive tactics of Arsenal and Liverpool. This was also the last match against Klopp, who announced his resignation. From an analysis standpoint, Klopp's Liverpool was an opponent team that had a lot to learn tactically every time. I don't know how Liverpool will change next season, but I hope it will continue to maintain a high level and continue to compete in good faith.